So the economy, this is something that I think most Americans, not having taken civics classes, not having studied economics, and frankly not having studied government in school, it's such a shame that, you know, since the 1980s, since the Reagan Revolution, we've stripped all this education out of our curriculum. And so people now are not taking civics classes anymore. They don't know how government works. They don't know the rationale for government. They don't know the history of government. They don't know how Thomas Hobbes inspired and informed John Locke. They don't know how John Locke inspired and informed Jean-Jacques Rousseau. They don't know how both of them, and Hobbes for that matter, inspired and informed Thomas Jefferson and led to the creation of this country and the standards and the ideals on which this country was founded. A unique project, by the way, creating a country not by saying, hey, these are the people who've always lived here because we had just killed them all off, or many of them, in one of the most god-awful genocides in well, certainly the biggest one in American history. Which we are, as a country, we have not reconciled yet. Canada's gone a long way in this direction. We have not really seriously even begun that process. We're just now having conversations about the damage that we did to people with slavery. But this whole situation comes back to, and you know, why people don't understand the history of America. It comes back to why they don't understand the relationship between government behavior and corporate behavior. And it's that government literally creates marketplaces. I get it that libertarians and billionaires and Republicans like to pretend that there's this thing called the free market. They love that phrase because free is a positive thing, and when you attach it to market, it sounds like it must be a wonderful thing, right? It's a free market. There's no such thing as a free market. In its purest form, a free market would be pure barter, right? No government interference. You and I are next door neighbors. We make a deal. You're really good at washing cars. I enjoy mowing lawns. I mow your lawn every Friday or every Saturday. You wash my car. Now that's, it's barter. Is that a free market? You would think so, right? It's two people, independent of government, independent of business, entering into a transaction without even exchanging money, but it's still a business transaction, essentially. But what happens if, while I'm mowing your lawn, I mow down some rare and valuable plant that you have planted on the edge of your lawn at the beginning of your garden that you just love dearly? Or what if, while I'm mowing your lawn, I run into your garage door and cause it to collapse or something? What if I do damage? Or what if, while you're washing my car, you do damage to my car? And what if we can't come to a resolution about what that damage is worth and whose responsibility it is? Where do we go? We go to the court system. You either go to arbitration or you go to a lawsuit. That's no longer a free market, right? That's a regulated market. So the market was regulated right from the get-go. There's an assumption, a core assumption of fairness built into our markets. Or at least we assume that there's an assumption of fairness built into our markets. But in fact, because of largely the Buckley decision in 1976, although there have been certainly numerous others, corporations and rich people have been able to lobby Congress to change the tax laws, to change the incentives, to change the structures of our business deals, so that we have greater income inequality right now than we had in 1929, which is not a good thing for a country. It nearly flipped us, either fascist or communist, and FDR took us down the middle road to avoid that. And right now, again, we've got, particularly on the fascist side, you've got voices being raised up. And so I'm saying, let's raise wages. Let's say to business people like me, say to me, pay a decent wage, pay a living wage, at least $15 an hour or something close to it, and that's by 2024. Right? The Bernie's law doesn't even take effect until, it doesn't fully implement until 2024. pay a reasonable wage or don't do business. It's really simple. Doing business in the United States is a privilege. It's not a right. You have to apply for a business license. You have to demonstrate, to other people in the business world that you're creditworthy, that you're capable. I mean, nobody's going to, rent you office space if they look at your credit report and they see that you ripped off the last 5, landlords or employees or employers or whatever it may be. Why is it that we have skewed this thing? Why is it that corporate income taxes during Eisenhower's administration represented 1/3 of the federal government's income, and today they represent, less than 1/12 of the government's income? And who's made up the rest of that? Who's made up the balance of that? You and me. Why is that? Well, obviously, it's the power of money to influence legislation. And this should not be. And one simple step to clean it up is to say, okay, we've got all these programs that Republicans love to hate that subsidize the working poor. Why do we have the working poor again? What's wrong with menial labor? What's wrong with paying people a decent wage?